So, do you guys think that kind of weird that we are already 24 episodes in, 24 weeks of this game?
To be fair, I joined on like what, 17, 18. So it's not
Yeah,
weird to me.
I was looking through my notes the other day, and yeah, I'm a bit.
I can't remember the last time, campaign. How many episodes were we in? Was
At
it
least
around
40 plus.
at least 40 plus? Think we're gonna beat that?
Probably.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, we're already, you guys are only level 5 and already almost episode 25. Actually, it's episode 24 of Gears of Erathis. I am DM Hazard. Uh, yeah, this is gonna be a great episode. Hopefully,
All the
probably
shopping.
a lot of shopping, a lot of RP, maybe a battle or two. Never know, depending on where the players go. That will be up to them, of course. Let's get a roll call for today, starting with Murakai.
I'm Patrick, otherwise known as Mercury. I play Gleok, the Goliath Barbarian.
I am Adriana. I play Rago. I am a cleric, Kashmir.
My name's Matthew, and I play Statically Steel. Uh, and I've been telling everybody that I'm a half elf, but I think it's important to say that I am a drow half warlock.
Doesn't look like it either. Alrighty. So recap, peoples. Let's see how your memory serves you.
It was relatively straightforward. We bagged up the rest of the loot and made our way back to the entrance of the city of Arok, or what used to be his city. And it was relatively quiet for the rest of the trip to the city. We encountered an escorted noble or merchant, something along those lines. We got to the city, and everyone immediately wanted to go get drunk. There was some discussion back and forth with both the guards and the stables as to what to do with our bird mounts. And as we had already taken care of everything, it was no major deal. So yeah, we decided to go get drunk, and Gleok basically duped the party into drinking the strongest thing they had.
And I'm still passed out.
Also, I have downstairs neighbors moving in, so if you hear thumping or rapping or whatever, yeah, I'll try and keep my mic muted, but not much I can do about it.
We also confirmed that the Duchess from Redcliffe, or the Duchess that was mentioned by Wilmo in Redcliffe, is at this location.
Static also went on an adventure and followed Bijan.
I did. He was holding up. I was following through the streets. He was holding up an earring, or not holding up an earring, but holding with his hand an earring and talking into it. And from what I can make out, with some trepidation, um, he mentioned something about I found him. Do you need help? Do you want me to pick you up? I'm on my way. And when I continued to stalk him through the streets until he opened up a portal in one of the alleys, and he said, "On my way, sister," and then jumped into the portal.
And that's where we left off. So, how should I start this off? What is Sadakoi doing?
He knows. He knows where I am. He sent this guy to when I see him next, I'm gonna have to kill him. And I'm like in the alley, like kicking trash cans and like making a mess of it.
You see some onlookers as you're heading out of the alleyway. They're giving you a little bit of a dirty look, but then just ignoring you and continuing hawking their wares.
Okay, I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm fine. I'm cool. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. And I start heading back towards the inn.
Okay. Alrighty. So I can't remember. So back at the end, who is all passed out and not? I think Gleerock's good.
I'm the only one passed out right now. I think everyone else was coming too.
Okay.
Dib is still down.
Yeah, it's Dib still.
It's too much for his tiny goblin constitution.
All right. So Gleerock, since you're the only one that's capable, what would you like to do?
First order of business would probably be to reassure to the matron of the establishment that it was quite deliberate as to what we drank. And that payment had been rendered to her son.
Oh yeah, she whipped that ass. I remember now.
The second order of business would probably be to rent some rooms from her and get these guys up into bed.
Perfect. So thank you for telling me that you already paid for your drinks. And she stares at her son for a little bit, and like having her hand opened up, and he gives her the gold.
By the way, shit eating grin the whole time that I'm explaining what I did, or what I duped them into drinking.
Oh man. She goes, so since this happened, I'm gonna allow you to have one free night, food included. How many rooms do you guys need?
I imagine Dib and Sadakoi will take a room. I'll take a room. Cassell, Rago. That's what, 4 rooms to account for all of us? Oh, Farron. So 5 rooms.
Okay.
And
she
can easily be paid.
She heads to the back of the bar, and it looks like there's like a row of keys, and for different sets of rooms. Like it goes through 1 through 10, and so she grabs 5 keys and hands them out to you, and says, "You could go ahead and give it to the others. I'm gonna go ahead and start dinner." And she looks at her son and says, "You be on your best behavior in front of our guests." And you see him kind of pout a little bit as she heads back into the kitchen.
I'll give the kid 3 gold.
He's grinning. He's like,
I'll just say, respect your elders.
and he mumbles a bit as he walks off to do something else.
Okay, so I'll take the keys. I will move the bodies upstairs. And I'll hang on to the other 2. Well, I guess other Mikey and Sadakoi's. And I'll just start sorting and consolidating the loot. Actually, if I could find like some sort of armor crafter, I'll say crafter loosely because I've got the rust monster and rust moth carapaces. I'd like to see if I could find someone that could do anything with that. Not necessarily have them do anything, but look around and see if I can get any clues as to who might be able to do something with them.
Okay. All right. Before you head out, I can't remember what time of day. It was pretty early morning, correct?
We
When you guys arrived.
We got there fairly early morning because we were traveling at night.
All right. And then say the afternoon, so it's around probably 2 o'clock at this point in time. Okay.
Yeah, we were like day drinking.
Yeah. Well, you guys had one sip and just done. Not really a good. Anyways, I.
And I'll leave. I'll leave everyone's keys like underneath their bodies, so that way it's
Okay.
like they wake up and like feel the key and realize that it's like, okay, this is where I am. This is my key.
When you finished placing the individuals inside their beds, this is at this point Sadakoi walks in as you're about ready to walk out to do a little bit of an investigation.
Toss him his key.
I let it hit me and drop to the ground.
I'll just shake my head. You are a strange one.
I know.
I'm heading out to see if I can find someone who can make use of the insect armor. Are you going to be staying here until dinner?
No, I'll come with you.
Something wrong?
I'm gonna have to kill that guy.
I'll just nod my head and think pensively. You have your reasons.
I do. I put the. You put Dib in his room.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have the key.
Ah. I reach down and pick it up and put it into my pocket.
Who's there? So I've got downstairs neighbors who are hanging things on their wall, and my next door neighbor was also hanging something on their wall. I can't win.
Sounds about right.
These two jealous for babies.
Anyhow, yeah, let's go out and see if we can find someone who can do something with giant insect carapaces. Among other
Okay.
things.
Alrighty. Go ahead and make investigation checks.
You know I'm
You
not
could
good
either
at this stuff.
you could do it at advantage if Sadakoi's helping you, or
Help
you
me,
both
help
do
me.
it.
All I've got is my dice, help me.
Sadakoi is definitely not helping. He's got his head down. He's just kind of.
13.
That's
Okay.
pretty good.
That's not too bad. Asking around a general area where there's a lot of people around, you're able to figure out there's a couple, since the city's so big, there's actually a couple of blacksmiths. One of them you're hearing more of, like more profane, but you also with that role you get wrong directions, so it takes you about an hour or two to finally find this crafter.
Okay.
And so I'll say that it takes you about an hour to find him. and you are currently at a ship. I'm looking through my notes right now. Sorry. Because I'm never organized. I can't wait till I get back to the States and I could actually buy some stuff at like Walmart and stuff to organize all my garbage.
Browse my library.
Yeah. Because I have so many campaigns, like I need a book for each one.
Yep.
All right. You come to this place is decent size. You see two portions of this place. Right next to it, it looks like to be the forge and the blacksmithing area. Currently, there's a female tiefling. You see her all in this garb, blacksmithing garb, like the gloves or whatnot, and she seems to be like pounding away at some iron
I
or some
approve.
type of metal. She has red skin, and she has horns that protrude from the back of her long black hair. But on her left side, one of the horns is actually like broken off, and she's wearing these goggles as she's just pounding away, ignoring you for the most part because she's busy with her work. Um, and on the other side of this big establishment, there's actually like the shop in it. In front of it, it has glass walls with different sets of armor out on it. Some of them are like brilliant gold sets, some black armor, some different types of armor that looks like it was created from wood. Um, and as well as like the darkest armor you could see, like the edgy lords of the edge lords, and you see a little sign that says Thordox armorer.
Okay. I'll go to the merchant side first.
Okay. All right. As you enter through the merchants, this place is like packed full of like on one side of the room. It's a pretty decent establishment. On one side of the room, there's like all these different types of ingredients and reagents to like if you want to do your own blacksmithing, you know what I mean? Different types of arrowhead pieces and all this other stuff. On one side, you see a bunch of weapons just portrayed around. Um, you also see like hanging on to the wall different like different nice pieces of like weapons and stuff like that. And then in another corner there's the armor, of course. And then there's also a little section with like leather straps and shit like that for like repairing armor.
Gotcha.
And off to the counter, you see this dwarven male whose skin is like olive. He has olive skin. He has this nice long golden beard that comes to a it's braided in the center and it has dwarven like clasps on it. And he also is bald. But he's on top of his head. He has a set of pair of goggles, and he's also wearing the same set of blacksmithing gear. And it looks like he just got finished putting something in the forge or something like that.
Greetings.
Uh, Greetings. I wasn't expecting any customers today. Um, my name is Thordock. Just go ahead and browse the wares. Is there anything I could help you with?
Uh, well, I could use a new battle axe for one.
Do battle.
Yeah, I had a small run-in with a big monster, and well, I'll unsheath it so he can see the rust damage to it.
You found one of them rust monsters.
Indeed. On that note, I happen to have a fair bit of its plating. Is there anything that you're able to fashion out of it?
He lifts an eyeball and says, "Oh, how much do you have?"
I'll reach into the bag. I've already pre-sorted it and pull out the 15 plates. Well, I guess 30 in total. Or 30 pounds. You said 15 pounds of rust monster carapace and 15 pounds of rust moth carapace.
Oh yeah, the rust moth is a little bit stronger. Okay. He looks at all the pieces. Is like, and he picks up one of the rust moth's armor pieces, and he goes, "Well, this is interesting. Where did you? What type of creature came from this?"
Just a bigger one for the most part. Although it had dusty wings.
That's and he turns around and there's a bookshelf behind him, and he pulls out a book, and he's like shifting through the book and looking at it, looking at both sets, and he's like, "Oh, that's a uh, good plating." And he kind of is mumbling to himself and thinking what he could do with it. He's like, "What? Well, you're the customer. What would you think? I could do pretty much anything with this. Maybe line some armor you're currently wearing with this stuff. It will make it to where it'll be more. It'll be like making it a stronger alloy. I could also make designs on your current piece of armor, or um, yeah, I could pretty much do anything. I can make some decent gloves that will help with resistances."
Okay. Well, I tend to not go for too heavy of armor, but if you can do something for gloves or bracers, that would be great. That said, I also have some companions who wear heavier armor. If there's anything left over, we could potentially use for that.
Okay.
Is there anything that you can use to augment weapons?
Augmentation is not really my specialty. I mean, I can make it more decorative, but that's basically it. It won't. I can't make it to where uh, it like combines. That's what how he's explaining it to you. Um, but he could basically make a set of armor from it, which will equivalent to a +1 armor with the rust monster stuff. He could basically do that for that. He could also make a set of armor out of the other stuff to make it to where it's a +1 armor, as well as it will have acid resistance.
Okay. Um. So,
And he basically explains that he could put it onto any piece of armor. So if you want to think of that being augmentation, then yes, he can
gotcha.
do that. He just can't like, you know what I mean.
Yeah. So, meta speaking, would there be, because Goliath and, or sorry, not Goliath, barbarians and the whole unarmored defense thing, would there be anything that I could do to get something similar or close to like a bracers of defense or
Yeah,
something like
yeah,
that, where it's technically not full armor but still gives me some sort of defensive bonus?
yeah. He could basically do that.
Okay, that I would like to do.
Okay.
And then
So
we can take the leftovers and see, what the rest of the party wants to do later. We can return once more people are with us. I'll actually even look over at Sadako and it's like, hey, you need anything? You can use this stuff if you need.
If it'll help me kill this guy, then I'll take it.
I'll go, wait a second. One moment here, and I'll pull out the breastplate, which I believe is qualified armor for Sadakoi. Can you tell us how this would stand up as well?
Ooh.
Because Sadakoi, you wear what, medium armor?
I can wear medium armor. Wearing light studded leather.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this is the one that you got from the thingy, right?
There's the one
Yeah,
with the
the
crest of Arok on it, yes.
All right, so and that's the one that looks like Rhaego's armor. That when she was
no, that was Splint Mail.
Oh.
This
Oh
was
yeah, huh?
This was in the first set of loot, which was a leather breastplate or something
Okay.
like that.
Yeah. Cool.
And it actually has the crest of Arok on it.
Yeah.
So
You go.
I
Are you
don't-
asking the blacksmith or are you asking Sadakoi?
I'm asking him, like, how good is this? And would that be something that he could augment or improve upon?
All right. Do you hand it to him?
Let him take a look.
All right. He picks up the armor and he goes, "That's an interesting crest on it." And he turns it around and looking at the breastplate. He goes, "Hmm."
It's
And
very old.
he goes into the onto his shelf behind him, picks up a little bit of this weird this dust. It's like a white dust, and he kind of sprinkles it onto the set of armors. And as the dust lands on the armor, you see a little flash of light come from it, and goes, "Oh, well, that's good. I don't know what type of armor it is, but it does have some magical properties to it." Um, I don't have the capabilities of identifying it. Sorry.
Any recommendations on that?
Well, you could go down to Markov's Emporium.
Okay. And this is Karoff is where we are, right? This dwarf, his name is, what was it, Karoff?
It's Thordok.
Or Thordok, sorry. Gotcha.
He has all that magic shit that I think he has his little service to identify stuff. He's if you go down and he gives you directions to it.
Okay.
It's just like a 15-minute walk.
Okay. I'll note that for later. In the meantime, let's go ahead and just all pick up a refreshed battle axe, even recycle the current one that I have to him if he wants. And I imagine I'll have to drop off a
He
few
goes,
gold for it.
okay. So he goes, so if you let me keep whatever I don't use for whatever you need, I'll let you have that battle axe for free.
Well, my companions may want to make use of the leftovers for their own armor, but they're currently passed out.
Oh, well, fair enough. Let me go to the DMG. How much are battle axes?
Like 10 gold or something like that.
Yeah, I don't want to screw you over. Because you're giving him a new materials to work with, and he's kind of excited to work with the
Gotcha.
Rust Monster, so he might give you a deal.
One moment here. It's actually in the player guide. Not the DMG. Should be around 180, 190, I think. Nope, that's actions. And that's spells. So probably 150. I used to know, dead serious, I used to know like half the pages to find stuff in the player guide. I'd flip back and forth so much. There we go.
D&D Beyond has an equipment thing. It's just being slow.
10 gold, battle axe. It's on 149.
All right, you'll see. Yeah, there it is. He'll say, just give me 5 GPs.
Okay.
All right, and so what did you want to do with your thing? Or are you going to wait until you talk to everyone else?
I would like to get something along the lines of like a bracers of defense type of thing. Something for like forearms and maybe greaves or something like that, where it's not proper armor, so it doesn't count towards the unarmored thing.
Okay.
So like bracers of defense are +2 AC, whereas a ring of protection would be 1 AC, which, by the way, I'm also going to be looking for.
All right. It's going to help because you're giving him the materials. But I still have to kind of do bracers of defense. Ooh. Okay, you want something like that. It is rare.
Yep. I mean, if it takes, extra materials or something like that, we can furnish stuff.
Okay, so here's the question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to use the bracers? Are you making the bracers of defense out of the carapace of the rust monster or the moth?
I think you said the moth was higher quality, right?
It's basically going to be the same.
Okay.
Because it is a magic item.
It's a matter of who gets the resistances.
Yes.
Gotcha.
One of them will give you resistance, but the other one will not.
So my rage as a bear totem, I have resistance to everything except psychic damage, so I don't really need the acid resistance. We can probably leave that for someone else like Farron or Kissel if he needs.
Cool. Like you could probably line a shield or something like that. Okay. All right. So he's gonna use the carapaces of the moth monsters. Excuse me.
You mean the rust monster?
Yeah, the rust monster to make your bracers.
Okay.
And what it is basically gonna help with the to reduce the price, and it's gonna look cool or
okay.
However you want it to look on your character. And I believe I wish they would have prices on these.
I'll give him a design that's kind of similar along the lines to my tribal / herd tattoos.
Okay.
If he has a piece of paper, I'll just, mark it down as like, the symbolism of my herd.
Okay. That's yeah. He looks at it and he's just like, I think I could do something with that.
And that way, like in the event that I go back to the herd, because that's probably what I'm gonna do in the long run, is eventually I'll return to the herd a better man, so to speak, and that will become my contribution. aside from the fact that I'm shirking my duties by adventuring elsewhere.
All right. He says even with the materials, it's gonna cost about 500 gold pieces to finish the product. Are you want to pay me now or as soon as the product is finished?
What's his preference?
Anything is fine.
I can pay him now, because I do know that we have more than that. Definitely more than that with our split materials. Or our split currency.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys do. I hope you guys wrote it down or
Uh,
did he did that?
I've got something like 2,600 gold written down, along with
Mm-hmm.
880 platinum.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're in good shape.
Okay. All right. As you put down the satchel of gold in front of him, he like he nods and gives a smile and he yells, "Ava, we have a customer." Uh and you see that tiefling walk in to the the shop and she heads up to um the dwarf and she looks down at the piece of paper and he goes, "Now, if you can make these specifications with this," and then he shows her the other armor, and she looks more towards the other pieces of carapaces, and she looks more interested in that, and then but looks back at the other ones, and he goes, "No, no, not that, not just yet. They're waiting for something else, for other people to decide on what they want to do with this one." Um, and he looks at you and says, "Is it all right if I hold on to these
Yep.
until you decide?"
Yep.
Awesome. You could play with that later, as he explains to her, and she nods and gives a okay and takes the piece of paper, and then she just silently walks out and takes a few pieces of the carapaces, uh, of the rust monster carapaces, and then she silently walks out.
Okay. Um, I'll shake his hand and I'll make my way towards the magic merchant Markov.
Okay. Was
Sadako is following.
oh, you're gonna be a little grumpy person this day. Okay. All right.
You never know with Sadako.
Exactly. That's
Can we
what's
like
so great
stop and
about
get
it.
him some Turkish ice cream so he's like utterly delighted by the person doing the little cone thing and the sleight of hand?
Might kill that guy. Sadako loves milk, and he's never had frozen milk before, so I don't think it would be wise to fuck with.
Okay. So to
You
Markov.
you guys start heading over to Markov's. It's bustly. People are starting to. I'll say that little thing took another hour. It's almost 4 o'clock right now, and you can see some of the other shops are like they're packing up their wares, and other than that, and eventually you get to Markov's Emporium, and it's a small little shop, big enough for about maybe 5 people. And you see again, it's kind of like the same design as the blacksmith, but it doesn't, of course, have the forge or the anvil and all that other stuff.
Okay.
Um, but there's no windows. It's just there's this just big sign on a wooden it's weird. The architecture around the general area is usually like made out of mud and some stone and uh, marble and stuff like that. This one has it's like a wooden building, like it just popped into existence. but on the wall and to the door where it has a little bell in front of it, it just says like painted in like that caravan gypsy style Markov's Emporium, magical Emporium.
I will squeeze my way through the doorway.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a tight fit. It's meant for like humans, not big ass Goliaths. And you see as you walk in, it's a complete cluster. Like there's there's items sprawled off everywhere, almost in a chaotic, organized way. Like you'll have the reagents in the one area. It's like it's a complete mess in here.
Hello?
Um, you see behind the counter, reading through a book, this guy. He is a tan skin individual with these flamboyant looking clothes that of what if you want to picture it in the real world like a gypsy. A lot of purples, a lot of reds, a lot of golds. He has this thin mustache that kind of curls up, and he has this his short black hair. His what's noticeable is his green eyes, and it seems like he's looking up as you say hello, and he goes, "Well, greetings.
I have
What
some
can I do for you?"
I have some stuff I'd like you to look at.
Ooh.
Hello.
Hello, as he turns to look at the um Sadakoi. What's your name, big guy?
Gleok.
Sadakoi.
Gliok, Sadakoi. Nice to meet you. I am Markov, the Great. And he kind of like holds out his hands. And he goes, "Well, see that I haven't seen you guys around before. Uh, you'll get a discount of the what's it called? New customer discount."
The Smith Thordock sent us over here.
Ah, Thordock sent you. Good gentleman. Uh, if he mentions you, then I'll take that more into account. Now let's see what type of items you got for me. And he goes, the general fee is 5 gold per. Well, it's usually 10 gold per identify, and
Okay.
he um, says it'll be 5 gold for this time.
Okay. So I will bring the items out one by one. So this is pretty much all from the treasure room of Arok's crypt. So I have written trinkets.
Trinkets.
Yes. I don't know whether you were saying that because there's after that I have written lantern, goggles, and bag.
Yeah,
But
I
think
just
the
said
bag
trinkets.
but I think the bag is the bag of holding itself.
Yep.
So lantern and goggles.
Okay.
Which actually I think the goggles are on Sadakoi's head right now.
They are.
Okay, so as you place down the lantern, he goes, "Oh, well, I've seen one of these before. I don't really need to identify this one." And but we'll just do it just to be safe. You're paying for a service. And you see a flash of arcane goes across his eyes as he touches the item. He goes, "I knew it." And he goes, "This is a lantern of revealing."
Okay. Brief
Let me
description. One sentence. Actually, I've got my book here if it's in the DMG.
Yeah, I have the little thing of the popping up.
6 hours, 1 pint of oil. Invisible creatures are revealed. Or invisible creatures and objects. I'll pull out the details later. Goggles. If Satakoi would be so kind as to let us inspect them.
They make me see in the dark better.
Perhaps there's more.
I slowly take them off my head and hand them to
Okay. All right. With the same deal, your friend is quite right. Um, while wearing these lenses, you have basically dark vision for 60 feet. If you already have that perk, it extends the range 60 more feet.
Yeah, okay.
These are called goggles of night.
Gotcha. So I already know the bag of holding. Because I don't know. I don't have a grasp of how much this guy knows of old lore, so I'm gonna pull things out kind of in the order of least importance. So I've got the Great Axe. I'm guessing this was the execution axe from the cutscene. But that's just a guess.
All right, give me 1 second. That one is actually as you pull out this axe, he tilts his head and goes, that's an interesting piece. And I gotta actually pull it out. As the arcane flashes inside of his eyes, he goes, "Huh. This has a great. This is interesting. This is an artifact. It's called the Rock Thrower." Hmm. He goes, "I'm not 100% sure. Where did you get this item?"
From a very ancient tomb.
Well, and he laughs. Is like, I guess you would find items like these, like that, just lying around in those ancient tombs, right? Of course, if the grave robbers didn't get to them first.
I'm afraid.
But
I'm afraid no grave robber would have gotten to this. No mere grave robber.
well, there's this interesting ability that this weapon has. This is a +1 weapon, and it has a unique ability to pull the earth from the ground and create a projectile. So here's what I'm gonna do.
Make me some sounds.
I am going to throw the item in your inventory, and then we'll go from there. And then you can look at it.
Sounds good.
Because I created an item. So whether it be overpowered or not, we're gonna find out.
Indeed.
But he gives you the details. So metagaming wise, it has an ability called Boulder Crush. It has a range of 30 to 60 feet at disadvantage. As an action, you could use your axe to magically rip the soil from the earth, creating a large ball of earth. You then can make a range attack using your strength and proficiency um, on hit, the target takes 2d6 force damage. If you have movement left and have the extra attack ability, you may use the second attack on the target within range. If the target, um, I totally fucked that up. That's why you reread what you type, so you know it makes sense. If the target's the same as the one that got hit by the boulder, you add 1d4 on the attack roll. So it's kind of like you get a little bit more chance to hit.
Gotcha.
Yep. It's considered a magic weapon.
There's almost
So.
like a hunter's mark kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So base damage 1d12 plus 1.
Yes. It's a great axe.
Gotcha.
So I put it in your inventory, I think. So you want to refresh?
Yep.
Yep. All right.
Yep.
There's that.
Got it. Yep,
We'll see if I have to nerf it later.
I mean, 2d6 force damage is like outside of resistance factoring. It's like, roughly the same as one thing I don't see. The system's not automatically factoring the plus 1 weapon, but we can take care of that later. Alright, so next I have 3 potions with a red shimmer.
Three potions with the red shimmer. Was that the extra loot that popped out of the thing?
Yes.
All right, there it is.
I'm holding back on the breastplate because if there's something, shall we say, inappropriate about him realizing that this is from Auroch's hold, I'd prefer for those to be the last things recognized.
I can always kill him.
Someone's feeling bloodthirsty. At the same time while acting like Puddle Glum.
Exactly, that's weird. Well, wait, it's normal. Alrighty. So these are basically potions of greater healing.
Okay. 150 feet of silk rope.
Ooh. That one's actually pretty good too.
Smart one.
There it is, magic items. My internet's running slow, I don't know why. Ooh. Oh, now it's actually running better. Okay. He goes, this one is, it's called the Rope of Climbing.
I know what that does.
Mm-hmm.
I actually gave one to my wife in the last game she played.
All right.
Okay. 5 arrows.
He looks at the arrows and he casts the spell and he says, "Oh,
Just arrows?
these are, yes. But what he can tell you is that they are actually like finely made, so they're basically +1 arrows.
Okay.
And you have 5 of those.
Okay. The split mail. This was the sergeant's armor.
Mm-hmm.
Or
He
whoever Rego played.
picks it up, casts Identify, and basically says, "Oh, This is mithril armor. Very light. And he looks at the design of it and goes, "Where did you put crew with this?"
From a very ancient tome.
Ah. You know what? I don't care. I'm getting paid for this. I don't really need to know.
So the last one, which is probably going to be more telling, would be the breastplate with the crest of Arok on it.
Oh, yes. So that it's Mariner's armor.
Mariner's armor. Got it.
Yeah, Mariner's armor.
Does he comment on the crest?
No. At this point, he's just he makes a note of it. It's like, I've seen this crest before. I wonder where.
Okay. So Mariner's armor is light, medium, or heavy, so I'm guessing that just matches with the fact that it's breastplate.
Yes, it's a breastplate.
Okay.
So
Sounds good. And I've got the stats for that handy. Alright, so that would be, you said 5 gold an item?
yes.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 each for the potion, or
Yes.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 45 gold?
Yep.
Okay. I have flagged that off. Okay, so is there any other questions or concerns that he may have?
No, he basically says, "Will that be all that you'll need of my services?" He accepts the gold and places it inside. Would you like to look around? I have plenty of other wares. I mean,
Yes, actually, I am curious as to if you might have a ring of protection.
well, but of course. And he goes underneath his counter and he pulls up a basically a display of different types of rings. And he goes, "That will be, I believe it's 1,000 gold." Uh, ring.
Ring of protection is rare, requires attunement.
Protection. It's not uncommon.
Nah, it's rare. I think the cloak is uncommon.
Ah, yeah. So ring of protection would be 1,000 gold.
Okay.
Because I think it goes 500, 1,000, then it goes 5,000. I think that's how it goes.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna rule that for now. If anything changes, I'll give you guys gold back.
Okay. The only other thing I need to do then is verify what the conversion ratio is for currency. How many platinum to gold?
It's 10.
10? Okay.
Yeah. If you look at your the currency, it tells you.
Gotcha. I will need to consolidate some finances first, but I'll be back.
All right. It will be here.
And there was one other thing I was curious about, and I believe it was Necklace of Adaptation, which I believe is actually uncommon. Yes.
necklace of adaptation.
Mm-hmm. You can breathe in any environment, and you have advantage on saving throws against gas effects. So cloud kill, stinking cloud, inhaled poisons, breath weapons.
Okay. Let's see if he actually has one. I'm gonna roll a percentile dice
Oh, okay.
because that's oddly specific. High or low?
I'm gonna go with high.
He goes, oh, necklace of adaptation. Let me check. And he pulls out a second thing, and he looks through it, and he goes, sorry. But if I do come across one, I'll be sure to send you a message.
Appreciate it. There may be other things that I have interest in, but again, as we return, then I will inquire further.
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
Oh, sorry. I was looking down the book. There may be other potential items, but I'll inquire further upon my return.
I will be here. Well, I won't be here in the next couple hours, so if you come back early morning, I'll be able to help you out.
It'll likely be tomorrow.
All right.
Thank
I
you
have
for
a
your time.
question.
Yes.
I walk up to the counter, and below the counter, I spawn the lament. And out of nowhere, I just bring up this giant glaive and set on the counter. Do you know where this comes from?
I'll mark
May I?
off another 5 gold.
Yeah, go for it.
He does his arcane trick, and as he touches it, he is his eyes kind of roll back into his head for a split second, and then he like backtracks for about 5 seconds, and then he comes back and he goes, looks at you and says, you've been touched by some god, haven't you, child?
I'll just nod.
Yes, I have.
Hmm. Well, that was interesting. It felt like I heard 3 voices. That was huh. It called itself Lament, Malice, and something else. I couldn't figure it out. Huh. Anyways, who gifted you this weapon?
You're a man of great knowledge. Who do you think knows more than even you?
Sorry, my wife brought some good pizza rolls. Well, they're more of mozzarella rolls, but fucking delicious. You take those buttery croissant things, and you put a stick of mozzarella or string cheese, bake that shit. Oh,
Never go wrong with cheese.
nope. Okay, sorry. Back. He goes, I'm a man of the arcane, not of gods.
Understandable. Well, I look around. I lean in real close to him, and I say, "The Queen of Secrets gave me."
Queen of Secrets.
But that's a secret too, so you can't tell anybody, okay? And I snap my fingers and pop Lament out of existence again, and then kind of like do the jellyfish thing out the.
I'll just, kind of, shrug. Thank him for his time.
Rhaego,
Yes.
you are in a familiar place. You hear the sounds of birds singing off into the distant forest. You hear the sound of bells for the morning. Excuse me. Through the morning chants. As you're hearing the bells ring, you are inside of this corridor where this statuette of um, Lathander is in front of you. Um, you are just sitting in front of it, singing a hymn, and you hear a familiar voice um, behind you, and you see this paladin in training, um, adorned with typical armor plate of a paladin in training, and she has this. Her skin is pale, um, with she has long, beautiful looking red hair, almost that of like fire, and she says, "Practicing your hymns." You know this to be. Oh, I had a name for her. It was really good too. In it, I didn't write it down. This is your this is your friend, Liv, and you call her Liv, short for Liva. As she finished asking that question.
Yeah, of course. Gotta keep practicing, you know?
As you say those, you want to say those words, but it doesn't come out. It's just the hymn is still going, and you're kind of getting louder and louder. And then uh, you see fire build up behind her, and it kind of is getting closer and closer. Eventually, it touches your friend, and you see her almost melt from the inside, well, from the outside. And you see her kind of reach out as the flames touches her as the flames are engulfing into her skin, and she's reaching out to you. She says, "Why?" And then you wake up in a nice, comfortable looking bed, face down, but you kind of get up with a jerk.
I'm gonna fall off the bed, like from that whole commotion. 'Cause I'm gonna be startled as fuck.
Perfect. All right. Is there anything else you're doing?
I'm gonna have my hand on my head because I probably got a raging headache going on.
Yeah, that's acceptable
And I'm
because
just
that
yeah.
you weren't sharing, you wouldn't be sharing a room with anyone. So, um, but you seem to be inside of this inn, inside of this the pounding headache, the visions of the dream, kind of like you know how whenever you had a startling dream, but then you just can't remember, and then you're more focused on this pounding headache. And you turn to look outside the window, and it's night has fallen. You don't know what time it is, but
Oh god, what happened? I'm like slowly like prop myself up. I'm still on the floor, but I'm just like in pain from the headache and from being thrown off the bed. From I'm probably super sore from the drinking, like numb.
mm,
Where
um,
is everyone? And I'm just like saying that to myself.
you hear a chime on coming from downstairs, and you hear like a little bit bustling of it's not loud enough to where it wouldn't stop you from sleeping, but you could hear that there's commotions at it, and then you come to the realization you're still at the inn or the tavern. But you hear a little a bell throughout the thing, and um, you hear a female voice saying, "Supper's ready."
And I'm gonna slowly pick myself up and slowly go down to like the main area.
Okay, okay. When you do that, uh, I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. Sorry, I probably did this. Did you guys need to do anything else? Glee Rock and Satakoi?
No, we were actually just discussing in chat. He's going to go ahead and take the Mariner's armor, and then if the others agree, we'll do the Rust Moth carapace augmentation on it. If
Okay.
that's something that Thordok can do.
Yeah, I think he could do that. Um. Okay, that's fine.
But we don't have to do that tonight. We can, because I'm sure he's shutting down for the night, and we probably need to get back to the inn to make sure everyone's waking up.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. I was doing a transition.
Yep.
As Rego, as you go downstairs, you find a little area where there's enough chairs for your party if they so choose to come down. And as she puts this plate down, and it's basically spaghetti.
Oh,
Spaghetti.
Jesus Christ, man.
no! Oh, he's
No.
missing out.
That's his fault. Um, and you see two familiar individuals walk into the tavern.
One in a shiny new leather armor.
I just
Oh,
lift my
shiny
hand up
old
and
new
wave.
armor. I'll have Rock throw on my back, by the way.
Where'd you guys go?
Taking care of identifying everything that we've got.
It was an adventure, and I give like half-ass jack.
I raise my eyebrow. I'm like, you all right?
I gotta kill a guy.
I have a question for you guys. What happened to the other dude that was with us?
I haven't killed him yet. Oh, you don't know.
No, what? Raise eyebrow.
You summoned a portal in an alley and jumped through it. He said, "I found him," and then jumped through a portal. I copy down the runes. See, look, and I pull out my little notepad and I show him the runes. But it's not the page with the runes. It's just a dick butt. And then I'm like, oh wait, no, not that one. And I flip the page to the runes and I show him. This isn't all of them. These are only the ones that I can remember. But what you have to understand is that he's after me. Okay? Shows up in the desert out of nowhere. Oh, I'm so thirsty. Oh, I'm so powerful though. Don't try to attack me because I'll kill you. I fold my arms and I'm just standing. I mumble under my breath. Always frown.
I'll help you take care of him.
The patron, not patron, the barkeep, the owner comes out with a couple plates of spaghetti and places it down in front of you guys and goes, she smiles and goes, "Did you find everything that you needed?"
So far.
That's good. I hope you're getting around town quite well.
It's warm, but it's... We've had worse.
Well, a bunch of adventurers like yourselves
Cough,
probably
cough, fire elemental.
Would you guys like any drinks?
Water for me, as I still have my hand on my head.
Yes, of course. About you two. Oh, where's your friends? They're probably still recovering from the morning ordeal.
I'll just kind of say, yeah, weaklings. With a big grin on my face.
Well, if you need anything, just give me a holler and I'll come and get you guys. Anything that you need.
Thank you.
She walks off to go. A moment later, she comes back with a pitcher and a glass, a cup of water, and she sets it down and smiles and heads off to another patron that's wanting some booze.
What did we drink yesterday?
Really strong booze. You probably don't want to know. I'm just picturing because it's beholder wine. I'm just thinking it's like it's almost like was it tequila? Did you drink the worm or did you eat the worm? It's like beholder wine. Did you eat the eye stalk?
Oh God,
Yeah, that's a good one.
that's probably a game. If you could finish the bottle in one setting,
Oh,
the person
man.
that finishes off have to eat the eye stalk, and it's just
Yeah, I would need advantage on my Constitution saving throw to pull that off.
Oh
I
God.
just died. Just instant death.
I'm gonna trademark the holder wine. Just
That was
saying.
great.
I'm gonna make it named. I'm gonna name it something. It's gonna be glorious. And then every time I do a campaign, it's gonna always be in there. Every single time.
There you go. Did you eat the eye stalk? Beholder eye stalk lollipops.
Be like a wall of who ate the eye stalk. There's no one on the wall. They died a horrible death.
I would
Permanent
so
paralysis.
try it too.
You eat the eye stalk and roll on the random table, and there's a chance it's a disintegration eye stalk. You just cease to exist.
Yeah, you
I
just
believe
turn to
that's called
dust.
Russian roulette.
Man, there's how many? There's like 10 eye stalks on a beholder too. So there's probably different types of beholder line. I gotta do something about this.
That's gonna be a fun project.
Oh, yeah. I'll figure that out later. Alrighty. The night is young. What do you guys need to do?
I need to study. I need to find a way to kill this. And I run off to, I guess, my room, but I don't know which room it is. So I put my key in every single door until I find my room and open it.
It's the third door.
It doesn't even listen. I just keep going. And I'm going to be reading my alchemy book, Fever.
Feverishly reading the alchemy book. Got it.
Will it take less time now that I'm practically a genius?
No.
Damn.
I'm not changing the mechanics because you bought a broken ass fucking headband. Which I thought you would give to the idiot, but that's okay.
I have.
You have a plan. Okay. So what is the other two doing?
I'm gonna be finishing the food I got and going back to my room and probably meditate for a bit.
Rehydrate.
Definitely rehydrating.
Yeah, you take the pitcher of water and just you kindly ask if you could take it, and she nods. I can't remember the barkeep's name, and I don't have it written
I don't
down.
think we ever got her name.
I don't think we
It
did
was
Oh,
just the
well.
kid's mom.
Because for some reason in my last notes I have Zed, which I don't know who Zed is.
Zed's dead, baby.
And then I got Boblin, which will come up later.
Yeah, I don't remember Zed.
I think that was one of the people. I just have to go back into the thing. But yeah. So you head up and start to do some meditation after whatever you do.
Good dude, go.
Trancing. I need to step away. I have a cat who is begging for food, and she is now brushing against the mic.
Got it. All right. So I'm taking it you guys are good for the night.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Sadako is. He has an actual singular focus.
Alrighty. The night is uneventful for most. Some individuals is studying a book feverishly. Others finish up their meditation and decides to go back to sleep. Morning comes. Everyone hears the sounds of a bell to identify that breakfast has been made. You guys all come to, heading down, picking your favorite spot in the tavern, and as breakfast is served, which is eggs, bacon, all sorts of meats, with a smile from the tavern leader or owner, as she goes off and helps other people. And her son is helping them to kind of disgruntledly doing so, reluctant to do anything. Um, yeah, morning is yours.
I'm back.
I just did the transition to morning.
Okay.
Basically, nothing. No assassins came to you guys and killed you, so
Okay.
everything's good.
So
Now everyone's at the their table, having a nice breakfast. You have Casil and Farron looking like hot garbage. I can't remember if Farron passed his check, didn't he? And he
yeah,
woke up.
he was the
Yeah,
only
he
one.
passed.
But they still look like crap because that was very strong alcoholic.
2-day hangover.
How's Dib doing?
Dib, yeah, it's same. He's just waddling downstairs, making a big commotion as he's doing full stomps down the thing.
All while wondering why everything is so loud.
Mhm. And he just sits down and he hits his head against the he basically collapses as soon as he gets to the table after he nibbles on some bacon.
I'm gonna rub his back.
He purrs.
I knew you were gonna say that. How did I know you were gonna say that?
It's more of a groan, but you felt like a cat purring, right? And it's just a little rumble, but it's more of a groan, but it's like a happy groan. Happy goblin noises.
Cat purring.
All right. I set the stage. You guys play.
I mean, well, if
Sorry, I'm talking with my wife right now.
well, I was figuring taking Sadakoi back to the smith to see if the mariner's armor could be augmented. You said it would be like what, turned into a +1 in resistant to
Yep.
acid.
Yep.
The rest of the guys need to go shopping too since we missed that yesterday.
Yep.
And as just a RP point of reference and mechanic reference, my nose is in the book. I'm just like, actually,
I'm
so
walking behind, holding him by the shoulders as he's reading and guiding him to the smith.
I want to.
I thought you would just like pick
Okay,
him
never
up
mind.
and
Yeah,
like
that works
lift
too.
him.
I was gonna say I wanted to slide a hand tying a rope to Gliok. That way I didn't get lost. that
Alright.
works too. That works better actually.
There we go.
Well, if we had the rolly chair, we could just tie you to that way.
We don't talk about my chair.
Oh.
No wonder he's so glum. He doesn't have his chair.
Ouchie.
So yeah, we will give the others the tour, so to speak, on the way to the smithy.
Okay.
And see how things are.
All right. You guys finishing up your breakfast from the tavern, um, pack up and head towards the blacksmith. It's early morning, and as you guys head over there, the other people from the bazaars are setting up shop, and you smell some grilled meats and kebabs and all this other stuff. You see a whole bunch of other individuals. You notice a familiar cabbage cart, and you see the patron staring you guys down and looking at Dib as you guys walk past him. Dib is kind of his head is down and he's kind of waddling a little bit slower, but he doesn't pay any attention to what's going on around. Eventually, you make it to the blacksmith shop, and you see the tiefling apprentice. What did I name her? Oh, god damn it. I have the Thor document.
Ava.
Ava, yes, Ava. Sorry. You see Ava looking like she is placing wood in the forge, and she gives you guys a smile and continues on with her work or her setting up for the day.
Gotcha. I'll walk into the merchant side and hopefully see Thordok.
As you go inside the before you enter um the shop, you hear a loud voice from within saying, I've told you all before, I am not giving anything to that cow. She could find where's elsewhere. She burned me way too many times. And you're hearing arguments back and forth, and eventually you hear Thordok yell again, saying, I've warned you many times, get out of my shop. And before you guys enter, you see two individuals comes out. One of them is a male. Actually, they're both male Makotes, and they are adorned in what appears to be guard armor, but it's not normal guard armor that you're seen before. It's has a bunch of it's like regular breastplates, but they have like a symbol on it of what looks to be a boar on it. And you see them they look young. Uh they look about maybe about 20 years of age. Um but they they're like one of them goes, "You'll be sorry for ever um enraging the Duchess." And they turn around, and one of them faces Glee Rock and like kind of hits his chest and looks up,
I'll just
and he
raise an
looks.
eyebrow, just stone faced.
Let's go make an intimidation check.
I can do that.
This is
13.
13. Okay. Yeah, he looks up. It looks like he's about ready to say something, but he doesn't take the chance, and he goes, "Come on, Bill, we're leaving." And they kind of go around you or around the group themselves, and then start heading northern.
I'll head inside.
All right. You hear a bunch of clanging in the back, and you hear Thordok go, "Oh, you're here for round 2." Oh, and he looks at the group. He's like, "Ah, Gleerock, I suppose you've talked to your companions." And he looks at the other ones and looks at Rego and goes, "Oh, are you a paladin of Lathander?" He asked Rego.
Not paladin, cleric.
Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me. I used to be a follower myself. How may I help you, dear? And he focuses attention more towards Rego now than Gleerock.
Purely for meta purposes. That said, I don't know which of the heavy armor wearers have what, but we have that mithril splint mail, which is heavy armor. It's 17 AC.
Because I got chainmail right now.
That would definitely be an upgrade for you. But I don't know what the others are wearing. Just saying, we have that.
Okay. You want to know their proficiencies?
I just don't know what they have equipped, so I don't know who would benefit the most from this mithril splint mail.
Okay. Farron's wearing chainmail. You're wearing nothing. Casil is
Wink, wink.
wearing. Oh, I need to fix that. He's wearing leather.
Farron?
But no, Casil's wearing leather. Farron's wearing chainmail.
Okay, so the question is, are any of them actually proficient in heavy armor?
Farron is, and Casil is, and also Rego, because they're both
Protection.
I think life clerics.
Yeah, me and Casil.
Yeah, you guys they're life clerics, and life clerics get heavy armor.
Okay. I'll let you guys figure out who takes it. That said, Rego actually happens to be here, so
Yeah. And that mithril armor looks more to fit for a female than anything else.
yeah, true.
Because I didn't specifically give armor to a specific character. Like I've tried to before, but then someone still took the broom for themselves.
So, Rego,
What?
this armor apparently has curves, so here you go.
Thank you.
You now have mithril splint mail.
There's a sense of familiarity towards the armor, and it just feels right. So yeah, go ahead and add that into your inventory.
What was it again?
Mithril splint mail. You'll probably just have to put splint mail on it. The difference is, in this case, is it doesn't penalize your stealth. And let me scroll back to the mithril armor bonus and verify if there's anything else. I think it's also lightweight. Let's see. If the armor normally imposes disadvantage on dexterity/stealth checks, or has a strength requirement, the mithril version of the armor does not. So it's lightweight.
I added it to your D&D Beyond.
you.
So go ahead and refresh that. Ooh, look at that AC. Woo.
Mm-hmm. I just noticed there's pretty much no example magic items that natively boost dexterity as a stat. There's ones that boost dexterity checks and bonuses, but not the actual ability score.
Yeah, dexterity is usually a dumped stat. Like you want, because dexterity helps out with so much more than anything else. Like it affects initiative, it affects armor class,
Mm-hmm.
and just in general, it's better. So I think that's why there's not items that increase dexterity. There's
Yeah.
stuff I can make, but
Maybe something that I want to explore later on. We'll see. Because that's one of the locations that I'm severely lacking. But anyhow, that does not have to be right now.
okay.
So anyhow, Rago, if you have any shopping concerns here.
We're just in a blacksmith area, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna look.
Okay. He basically has like anything like that would be normally you would get. He has a few +1 items that he handcrafted. He does have these couple sets of armor that are um, look very magical. One of them has, it's basically like if you were an edge lord, you would love this armor. There's a bunch of other full plates and shit like that too. He looks like he has a couple of weird looking gloves. One that has spider designs all up on it. And
Spider.
other stuff. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not looking. You said spiders, but I realized in game no one would have said spiders. So
Just said like a spider web design. God. And that's basically what you see. You'll have to do a little bit more investigation if you want to look. But yeah, he basically ask and you shall probably receive.
you talking to Rago?
Well, I
I'm
was just
talking to
looking
every.
at.
I
Yeah.
was talking to everyone, so
Well,
not just Rago.
while the others are figuring things out, I will inform Thordok that we would like to have the Mariner's Breastplate augmented with the Rust Moth carapace.
Interesting. I think Ava will be able to do anything or do something about that. And then you hear him yell again. And she kind of she comes through the door and she puts her hands on their hip and kind of like gives like a what thing, because at that point it's kind of annoying. And then he calls her up and he explains to what you want, and she has kind of like a look on her face, and then she gives a smiles and a nod, And then Thorodok goes, "Well, there you have it. It looks like she could do something about that. It might take a little bit for it to be made. It's not going to be done overnight. Will you be around here in about a week?"
What's the time on our birds?
2.
So we have 2 weeks from now that we need to get them back.
Yep. Yep.
We,
13 days actually now.
yeah, we could arrange to be there or to be around.
Okay. If not, you just tell me, and then I'll get a package sent to wherever you guys need.
Sounds good.
Where are you? No, I'll ask later if that comes to if it happens. And he looks at Ava and says, "Are you able to do it within a week, Ava?" And she nods and smiles, and she um takes the Meritor's armor and starts heading to the forge.
Cool. And then, assuming, um, how long is it going to be on the bracers? Is it also going to be a week?
Yeah.
Okay. Assuming there's leftovers, I'll just say, like, from there he can have the leftovers of the carapace.
Oh, he smiles and goes, "Oh, thank you, lad."
As gratitude for his services.
I'll remember that next time you need something. Alrighty. And is there anything else would you guys need or want?
Study, study, study. I'm so tired.
Your TV was louder than you.
He just says he's studying and he's tired.
I think we're good for now.
Alrighty. See you in about a week.
Sounds good. Shall we venture down to the magic item shop?
Yes.
Oh, also, I'd like to talk to a money changer to get the massive amount of copper and silver, at the very least, consolidated. If we can
Okay.
find one.
Sure, that's easily done. Do it, Bill. Do it, Bill.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and head to the magic shop, and then I'll look up the exchange rate on that.
Okay. Eventually, you guys head to the magic shop, and it is open. Same look on it. You guys, as you guys walk in, it seems that Markov is just in a book studying. The place looks a little bit neater now. Maybe he was doing some transitions, but it actually looks like a decent shop.
Okay. This is also for you shopping, Rego and Sadakoi.
Yeah, I'll start looking around, put the book away for now.
That said, retrospectively, we can loop back to the blacksmith. I wanted to ask him what was up with the two people, but I blanked on it.
Yeah, since it's already passed, I'm not gonna retrospect that one.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We can loop back.
Okay.
So I'm looking around his shop, anything flashy?
There's a lot of flashy stuff, a lot of reagents, and you've been reading in that book for different alchemy stuff. too, and you're recognizing all those items. Uh, Basically, it's more of the from the magical creatures section. It's not like the herbs and stuff that you would have. You would have to go to a botanist for that stuff. But you see, kind of like different types of salivas and salves.
Are there any prices on any of them?
A few of them there are some. It's basically going to be the amount of gold required, if you get what I mean. Like like reagents. This amount of reagents gold, basically.
Okay, I
So it's
got
going to
you.
be up to you how much money you spend on those reagents.
Where would I look for?
Look for. You keep cutting in and out.
Also, what was the cost on the augmenting the Mariner's chestplate?
Since you already had it, you had most of the materials. It's going to be probably, because with that it's going to make it a +1. Yeah, it's going to be 500
Okay.
gold pieces. Actually, it'll be 300 because you basically um yeah, I'll say it's 300
Okay.
because you basically gave him the materials for it. It's just more now work.
Okay.
What else we have in the shop here? I'm gonna
Uh,
investigate.
okay, go ahead and make an investigation check. Sadakoi, did you wanted to look for something because you kept on cutting out? So
Oh, so I asked where can I like find a list of reagents, or can I just make a general statement and be like, I have X amount of gold. What can I get?
basically the latter. Unless you're specifically trying to find something.
Oh no, specifically what
I
I.
You keep cutting out and you're quiet.
Oh, sorry. I don't specifically know what I know yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You just see pictures and whatever whatnot, and you could ask him like if you're looking for something specific.
Well then, yeah, I'll ask him and show him the pictures in the book.
Okay.
That seemed to me like that would make the most sense.
Okay. So he as you're doing that, he goes, "Oh, well, basically whatever you showed him, it's going to be around 25 gold pieces."
Each?
No, just in general.
Oh, I slam it down on the table. I
All
want it.
right. All right. He packs up different. He doesn't put all the materials in like in one thing, but basically you have 25 gold pieces worth of alchemy reagents. All right. So, sorry.
Sadakoi, how are we splitting currency? Is it 6 ways or is it 5 and Dib gets something specific?
5.
You guys are dicks.
Or Dib.
It's okay.
Poor Div. I've
Well,
rescued him.
or enslaved.
It depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
Alright.
Good thing you guys don't have like a paladin in your group.
No, we
Anyways.
only have, what, 3 clerics?
3, 2, yeah.
We have the
You
Disney
said these
princess
are
and
magical monster component type reagents.
Yes, basically. Yes. He tells you that basically you could substitute certain from the natural to the magical. You could substitute them, and they'll still do the same effect. All right, your investigation, uh, Rayo. Nothing really pops out in front of you, but you might, if there's a particular item that you want, you could ask him. He usually dabbles in, of course, magical rings, necklaces, wands. He has a few armor pieces, but that's basically it.
What kind of magic rings does he have?
Well, I think he has that ring of protection, and then if there's any other rings that you think that you want, well, here, let me do this so it's a little bit more interesting. I shouldn't. I should just click the button.
Okay, so everyone gets 2,361 gold split into however much equivalent coin you want.
That's a lot of monies.
Yep.
He as he pulls out his ring set. One of them looks like it's a wooden band, but it also has pictures of different types of animals on it. And he goes, "This deer is a ring of animal influence. This ring has 3 charges, and after each day, um, regains a charge depending on um, what you roll on the metagaming, whatever you roll on the D4, basically.
Okay.
And it has 3 spells on it. It has Animal Friendship, the Fear spell, but it could only target at beasts, um, and Speak with Animals.
Oh, I definitely want this ring.
Well, if you want this ring, um, it will be 1,000 gold pieces. Now, hold on your money for now. You might find something even better. But knowing you, you probably
I
fucking.
mean, I want all of the animals. I'll hold off on the ring right now. Now that I
Well,
have
he's
that.
trying to do it like a sales pitch. So hold on. So I'm gonna post this in the general chat. So that one looks like that one. All right. I love D&D Beyond. They're getting so much better. Copy.
I just
All
kind of
right.
wish D&D Beyond had an easy way of tracking currency.
A easier way of tracking currency.
Yeah.
You click currency and then you type in add in plus.
I don't see it anywhere. Oh, there it is.
There you go.
I'm
All right.
blind.
He shows you this one too, and it's in like a little display case. You know how like if you were picking out rings for like just I don't know, I don't pick out rings, but you know. Um, he goes, this one's ring of feather falling. Uh, well, while you're wearing this ring, you descend slowly from the ground, and if you fall about maybe 60 feet, you take 0 damage from the fall.
How much is that?
This will cost the same as the other ring. He shows you this one. Oh, I did the wrong button. No. There you go. Copy. It shows you this one. You're seeing these images, right?
Yeah, I'm seeing them.
Okay, good.
Are you just sending them to her? Because I'm not seeing them.
They're in the general chat. You guys are in the one shot for some reason. Or the Gears general chat, sorry. Which I need to clean up this channel. Because I feel like I'm going to have a bunch of people coming in once I have more time on my hands. And he goes, this one's called a Ring of Mind Shielding. While wearing this, you are immune to magic that allows other creatures to read your thoughts. Determine whether you are lying, know your alignment, or know your creature type. Creatures can telepathically commune with you only if you allow it. So you hear, and he tells you hear a little ping when someone's trying to send you a message spell. What's good about this ring? And he puts it on, and then you see it, and then you see it vanish, completely undetectable. And then he makes it reappear again.
My ears twitch.
Really neat.
How much for that ring?
Oh. The elf is perked his interest. This will cost 500 gold pieces. And that's basically...
So just the 3.
No, there's 2 more.
Oh wait, did I get skipped? I asked if
He said 500.
Because the other 2 are 1,000, right?
Yeah.
I slammed 500 down on the.
Damn. We haven't even found out the other 2 rings.
Don't care. Slam 500 down on the table.
You
And
can fight him
immediately
for it.
put it on.
He hasn't given it to you. Yeah. Well, he would be holding it up. And
Snatch it
as
out
you,
of the guy's hand.
yeah, he jerks for a second, and he goes and he counts the gold, and he nods, and he puts it away. So that one was the ring of mind shielding. So if you look at D&D Beyond, you can put it inside your inventory. And I'm pretty sure you don't need to be attuned to it. Fucking greedy. He shows
Now
you
I
this one.
now I don't have to worry about fucking homeboy reading my.
Which homeboy? Oh, I
TJ.
get you.
Yeah.
One
Oh,
you trying to kill?
all right.
TJ,
So
you know, the guy who did the things to me, and there's a character-driven reason for my greed.
So he shows you that one, and he goes, so with this ring, you could stand and move across any liquid surface as if it was solid ground. Basically, ring of water walking. And last one, there's some rings in here that I have to buy the product to be able to see it.
These are all DMG, by the way.
And then he shows you another ring, but it won't let me see the fucking details of it.
What's the ring?
He shows you guys another ring, and it has a wooden band around it, and then in the center it looks like it has some type of sapphire. Looks almost like water, like it shimmers as if there's water in it. And he goes, "This ring is called the Ring of Swimming. You have basically," and he says, "you have a swimming speed of 40 feet while wearing the ring. So you know how if you swim, it reduces. It's like difficult terrain, so it takes half your movement. So with this, it won't. It will actually give you more movement in water. So, and those are the rings that he have right now." I'm guessing you're gonna buy that other ring.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. So, do you want me to throw that ring inside your inventory, or can you do it?
I think I can pull it up. Hold on, give me a second.
I think it was called. Yeah, Ring of Animal Influence. Oh, that's nice. That's good to know. It doesn't have that one perk to where, or not perk, or that one mechanic that if you use up all the charges, it gets destroyed.
What was it?
It
Ring of
is
Animal?
Animal Influence. And you don't have to be attuned to it. Oh, a Ring of Mind Shield requires attunement.
Yeah, I just checked it out. It also has other things that I was not aware of, but you didn't tell me that that's what they do, so Sadiqua does not know anything about that.
Not until you get attuned to it.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Because that's how the mechanic works. Once you get like attuned to the weapon, you kind of know what it is, except for curses. So who's to know if that none of these are cursed items? I mean, this guy doesn't seem too shady, and he's been forefront to you guys. So
And we've been providing him with a lot of business in one day.
yeah, you guys are gonna clean him out. Alrighty. Is there anything else?
Does he by chance have a mantle of spell resistance?
A what?
A mantle of spell resistance.
All right, let me check. What is it? What type of item is it?
It is a rare item, requires attunement. You have advantage on saving throws against spells while you wear this cloak.
All right, we're gonna do this again.
I'll stick with high.
Okay. Ooh. As you ask him, was like, well, yes, but I'm not sure if I'm willing to part with it just yet.
Hmm.
maybe you could do something for me, and I'll reduce the price. Of course, you'll have it at the half price now, but if you don't do what if you don't what am I trying to say? I'm like losing my mind. If you don't finish the job, it will be at full price. What do you say, big boy?
Please be killing someone.
Sounds.
Please be killing someone. Please be killing someone. Please be killing someone.
I don't think my wife heard that, but she started laughing at the same time, and it was absolutely hilarious. No, what's the job?
I need a desert flower that only blooms during a full moon during this time of year.
Ballpark.
If you
When's the
could,
next full moon?
uh, you would know. Will be like 3 days from
Okay.
now. So if you give me that, I'll cut the price in half. But you have to pay the 500 now. Um, and then if you're unable to get the flower, I'll be sending someone your way to collect the rest. Do we have a deal?
I think we could manage that.
So just so I understand, if
It
we
does
don't
not
get the
involve killing
flower,
people.
but if we don't get it, then I have the opportunity to kill.
Oh no.
Sadakoi.
That's what I'm hearing. Wait, hold on. Wait. What am I thinking right now?
He looks at you. He's like, "Do you think I just forget that I know which items that I didn't give to you? And in fact, you haven't been here long enough." And he sends you this through a message, and you're hearing it through your head too. It's just like, he says, "You need 1 hour to attune to this item, so don't be a jackass and kill my associate." That's what everyone else doesn't hear that, just Sadakoi.
I turn to the group and he says we can not kill his associate.
He has the face palm at this point. So, uh, big man, do we have a deal? And he puts out his hand.
Tell you what, you knock an extra 100 gold off if we also solve Thordok's problem.
He looks at you questioningly, like, what problem does he have?
Well, let's just say there's some people who are trying to extract money from him.
He's got a cow problem.
Has
Nice.
something to do with the Duchess?
Yeah. Peculiar you say that. 50 gold off, too. And you help deal with that. Because he's a good friend of mine.
Indeed, he is.
But I'm still trying to make a
In fact,
profit.
he referred you to us, or referred us to you.
That's why you got the discount yesterday. So, I'll knock off of extra 50 gold if you help deal with him. Deal with his problem.
Very well.
Oh, and if you don't, if I have to send out my associate and he doesn't come back, there'll be problems.
I honor my
There'll
agreements.
be problems. As
I look at
he's
Sadakoi.
looking
And
at a coin.
I'll simply stare at him absolutely deadpan, just say, I honor my agreements. So there's absolutely zero question.
All right. He pulls out the cloak. It was there's a little armor stand behind him with the there's other different cloaks too. And he pulls it out and he hands it to you.
Cool. That takes care of my business.
There's two other people.
Oh,
What?
I'm good.
You're good? Okay.
Rego's AFK.
Rigo's AFK. Okay, so with that though, we're gonna take a 10-minute break. Is that okay with everyone?
Yep.
Because this might be a little bit longer, and I'm pretty sure. Oh no, more D&D. But yeah, I'm gonna give you guys a 10-minute break until we continue because I have to really use the restroom.
Sounds good.
All right. All right. 10-minute break. Be back at 12:40.
And for anyone watching on VOD, just pan through until you see this break sign go away.
Alrighty. So, with everyone still shopping, I can't remember where we left off. Oh my god, it's only been 10 minutes. um, what were you guys doing? You guys made a deal with Markov. And he gives you the details on the flower. I believe it's called the Desert Rose. And it only blooms on a full moon during this time of year.
Q-Sting.
And he gives you a location, a general location of it. It is a day's travel to the south of the Burning Sands, the Waking Sands, Burning Sands. So he gives you a small map of this harvest location, and he was specific on it to where this map needs to come back to him because it's one of a kind.
Okay.
So
how far out is it? Like, will we need the birds to get there, or?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
you'll need the birds to get there. Pretty far out.
Okay.
So we're gonna have to prep for desert travel again.
Yeah, that's not too tough. By the way, at some point around here, I've found a spring or some sort of watering well, and I have refilled the bag of clothing with fresh water.
Okay, that's fine.
Once we're done with Markov, I do want to loop back to Thordok and figure out what's going on between him and the Duchess.
Okay. Is there anything else anyone else needs to do?
Nope, good.
Now that you have your
Nose in my book.
nose in my book. How much time limit did I give you on that book?
It was. Hold on, it's in my sheet. It was 10 nights. I'm 6 nights into it, and each period of reading is a point of exhaustion.
Oh god. What are you at right now?
Level 1.
Okay. Got it. All right. So you guys head back to Thordok. And you see actually both of them are his apprentice Ava and Thordok. They're both working the forge, and you see them almost Rimith I can't rhythm. There's a rhythm to what they're doing, and it's fascinating to watch. And once Thordok catches your guys' gaze, um, he they finishes up. It takes about 2 more minutes, and they finishes up, and then you see Ava grab that a piece of that mariner's armor and then stick it inside of the water, and
Okay.
you see the comes out, and he lifts up his goggles and say, "Ah, Gleerock, what can I do for you today?"
Oh, well, I neglected to check with you earlier about those two ruffians that stopped by your shop earlier this morning.
Ah, oh,
Was
the
wondering what
pigs
was,
knew.
was wondering what the issue was.
That cow's new guards. She always gets new ones every year.
Yeah, they I'm sure there's quite the turnover.
And he kind of looks back and forth, see if anyone else is paying attention to this conversation. He goes, let's come inside. I need to ask you about some measurements.
Sure.
And he walks into the store, and as everyone kind of falls in, he closes the door and locks it, and he takes off his apron and heads towards the counter, and he sits up on the his stool and goes, "What do you guys want to know about that situation?"
We're gonna be having dealings with the Duchess in short order ourselves, and let's just say they aren't necessarily going to be benign dealings. We're wondering how we might be able to assist you.
Well, I'm not too fond of sending some armed individuals over at her.
This doesn't have to be on your behalf explicitly or overtly.
Well, here's the deal with her. She keeps on trying to buy out weapons from me, and every time that I do the job, she never pays me the full amount that I've asked for. And multiple times she's used her power to um, basically screw me over. And I'm just sick and tired of it. And over the last few months, she's been asking more and more and more, sending more of her crones, well, her piglets.
I
So that's
see.
where I'm at right now.
I'll glance over at Sadokoi. I think that resolving our end of the business will take care of things for you. Do you agree, Sadokoi?
I'm probably gonna
Couldn't hear you, dude.
I'm probably gonna kill her.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Like I said,
On accident.
like I said, this is not necessarily going to be on your behalf explicitly.
No, you don't get the. Do you know? She has ties to the president.
Huh?
She has ties to the president of Era. Wait, hold up. Nope, that's not what it's called. Give me a second. Eoria. She has ties to the president of Eoria, and if anything were to happen to her, we would be in trouble. She's the only one that's making it to where there's not a invasion. See, this country is ran by the prince, and through her negotiations, she's able to keep the president from taking over. And we don't want imperial ruling over us. You got to see where we're getting at here, because it's not good.
There's other things going on as well.
What do you mean?
I'll take a glance at Sadokoi and Kissel, because I don't know how much we should be revealing.
I pull out a vial of the black fungus.
He looks at you. Was that a science project gone wrong?
It's
Oh
spreading.
yes. Oh yes. Very much so.
Now that
it's spreading in the mountains, the deserts, the swamps.
Now that you mentioned it, there's been a couple rumors about this black ichor going around lately. Huh.
She's related somehow.
Are you 100% sure?
Oh yes, yes. Um, so I steal things for a living. Don't be alarmed. I haven't taken anything from your shop. And then I pull out the letter with the sealed one, the unsealed one, and I show it to him like this. There's some correspondence between your dear Duchess and my soon-to-be dead Mayor of Redcliffe, if I can find him.
He's a. Oh, don't get me wrong, child. She is not dear to me. We just haven't had evidence to be able to put her away.
Well, so far we've been really good at finding evidence to put high-powered people away, so I think that we should just kind of leave it up to us.
Hmm. He. Well, if you're planning on to getting a visit from her, anyways, um, just mention that tell her that I don't want to deal with her anymore. I'm not making any deals. If you could do that for me, I'll be greatly appreciative.
We'll make sure. Thank
Alright.
you for your time. We'll let you get back to work.
Thank you. That material you gave me. Oh, and he puts back on his apron and his goggles is like beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I haven't been able to work with such great material ever. And you said these came, and he's walking you guys out of the his shop, and he continues the conversation. Says, you said they were a rust monster carapaces and a larger version of it. Could you give me some details on what it looked like as he's heading back to the forge, and you see Ava kind of have her hands on her hips and just like waiting. Her tail is kind of flicking back and forth.
I'll go ahead and tell him. We found it in the ancient city of Arok.
Arak, you say?
Yes.
I haven't heard of that before. Maybe I'll have
He,
to.
he was an emperor from millennia ago.
No. Maybe I'll do some reading on that. Nah, reading. Ava, you ready?
Very, very few stories remain. You would be hard pressed to find any knowledge of it.
Ah. Well, anyways, thank you for the material. And then
Wrong franchise.
he he goes. Then they start getting back to work.
Sounds good. That takes care of my business, anyhow.
I have no other business.
Yeah, I don't have nothing.
Okie dokie. So what are you guys doing?
My nose goes back into my book.
Restock supplies, make sure that the birds are being taken care of. I don't know. Because we're down 2 people and they're going to need to do their own shopping.
Yep.
And
If they're not here, they're not here. You guys just got a quest.
Yep. And offhand, I do not know, or I don't have, or know the plan for how we're going to deal with the Duchess and figure out where the fungus spread is here.
Sounds like some research needs to be had.
Yep.
So I'll give it up to you guys. Since basically shopping's done with, and since we're missing 2 important players, we could stop for now. And then maybe continue next week, but it's up to you. Because there's going to be a lot of stuff going on within this month.
Just schedule wise, or?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I'm getting ready to head back to the States.
Gotcha. Are you going to be able to at least play?
Yes.
Okay, then I'll work on getting my stuff prepped for next week if need be.
Okay.
I'm gonna say something I don't normally say. I'm down for putting a pause on it until we get everyone else back. Since I would imagine anything we do forward from this part is going to be a critical story element.
Yeah.
Because I don't imagine that we're going to be able to travel 3 days into the desert and then complete the desert rose and then come back tonight before it would be unreasonable and highly meta to just implant Cassell and Farron in the middle of the desert for no reason.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it
Yeah.
was 3 days into the desert. The full moon is in 3 days.
Right. So 3 days total in the desert at
Yeah.
least.
Well,
Yeah, because we would have to figure out how and all that
yeah,
distance.
we've got the map for the location. How long travel would it be, Sean?
Birds is 1 day.
Yeah.
It'll be 1 day travel, random encounters, and then you would have to wait at least 2 days until at that spot for that
Gotcha.
event to happen.
Gotcha.
So, and you don't know if something's guarding it, how dangerous it is, or if there's going to be bandits looking for that same rose because it probably comes at a high price.
Yep.
So, all right, let's do the outro and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
All right, this has been session 24 of Gears of Erathis. A lot of things happen. A lot of shopping happened. Yay, shopping. A little bit of backstory was portrayed. Maybe more will come after for it. Let's start with the characters with Gleerock.
My name is Patrick. I'm playing Gleok the Terrible. And, well, I'm a Goliath Barbarian and slightly better geared than before.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Adriana. I play Rhaego. I am a Ashmere cleric.
Matthew, half elf drow, half drought, half drought, half drought. Anyway, warlock.
Alrighty. And with that, we'll be back later sometime. Have a good day and enjoy the rest of your night.
Cheers.